there is the builders, the regular builders, and then there were us bringing our crazy material made from muds and straw and hemp and bringing a whole factory on site and mixing materials on site and building cast and casting it by hand and ramming it and everything. And all the other builders look like we're crazy, you know. There are coming 3 workers, who are coming 10, 11 workers, you know, huge teams to manage. And so it was not practical. The cost of the team was very high.
Hey guys, it's Mandy with Global Hemp Association. I wanted to say thank you so much for joining. I'm excited about the opportunity to build a relationship and connect this supply chain. I mean, after all, that's why we started the association. Our association was built on the foundation of connecting supply chain, building relationships, and helping you grow your business. Anyone from farmers, manufacturers, and distributors, people that are passionate about the supply chain, and those creating products selling into biofuels, plastics, textiles, construction, and building materials. And we're live. Hello. Hi, Adrien.
Hello, Mandy. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining me today. Everyone, I'm so excited about this interview. As you guys get logged on, let us know where you're chiming in from. I didn't realize what some of the content we were going to be sharing today and some of the pictures we get to talk through and talk about and some of the designs that Adrien's done and homes that he's built with hemp. And so I'm really excited about the opportunity for you guys to see kind of how it's done behind the scenes and some of the projects that are being done around the world. So chime in, let me know if you have any questions. But before I ramble on too much, Adrien, and let me back up real quick. We have another interview also tomorrow. Throughout the holidays, our interviews are a little bit more sparse. We've cut back our group interviews and have one-on-one lives a couple times a week. And so keep your eye out on our website, globalhempassociation.org or friendsofhemp.org, where we've got lots of new content posted. We've also recently updated our member portal. So if you have questions as members about how to get logged into the portal, don't hesitate to holler at me. Either Elena or I can get you the details to get you logged in. We've got a great member group, great things happening. And so just wanted to remind you and let you guys know. All right, Adrien, I'm going to turn it over to you. I want to hear real quick before we dive in, and I've got pictures pulled up on my screen here behind where others can't see it. But before we dive into what you've been doing, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where do you live now? How'd you get into this?
So I'm French. I'm about 40-year-old now, and I moved 14 years ago in Israel during a trip with a friend. And I made there a course in a small kibbutz called Kibbutz Lotan, that they have a permaculture course, a green apprenticeship course that is permaculture and green building. And I went to do the course there. And there I met my wife. And since then I lived in Israel. I've been building for most of my life. I starting very young age building. I had a grandfather carpenter. We used to make renovation of the house together. And so building always been a passion for me, like something really enjoyable to do. And so when I arrived in Israel, I needed to work. So very quickly, I'm handy. It's a country where they build a lot of houses. So I end up very quickly on a work site and enter the company, one of the first company in Israel that start doing green building. Called Bots, and I was their foreman for a few years, and I introduced the hemp there, and I started to work with them on the hemp, and then I took my own wings, and after many years of building, I started to import a product that I found in France, the hemp block that we are working today with, and today we are a small company, officially 1 year old. Not even good. 1 year old since January, and this is what we're doing: selling hemp and trying to convert people to green buildings.
I love it. Okay, so what was your drive? Why green building? Like, why should everybody, for those that maybe are listening who aren't part of the association or in deep, why hemp building and why block over like a spray-in or a cast-in place?
Well, we used to work in the previous company where I work. We started with hand casting everything. The issue was that the labor was very expensive. Only there is the builders, the regular builders, and then there were us bringing our crazy material made from muds and straw and hemp, and bringing a whole factory on site and mixing materials on site and building cast and casting it by hand and ramming it and everything. And all the other builders look like we're crazy, you know. There are coming 3 workers, who are coming 10, 11 workers, you know, huge teams to manage. And so it was not practical. The cost of the team was very high. I was changing worker like you change socks at the end of the day, because people could not handle the rhythm of work and the intensity that it was. And so I say we need to make a change. We need to adapt ourselves to the market. We can't ask the market to move to us. We need to move to the market. And this was my trigger. This is why I decided to go on my own. And with this idea, I went for a few months around the internet and then travel around the world, to look around the world, in Europe mainly, to look for the holy grail for me, you know. What I see is the right product to build a house that fits also the Israeli market. And so I arrived to the block. I went few factories until I found the quality that fits my desire, and that's it. Once I found the right block for me, I brought it in Israel, and we started slowly. We made one house, then another one, then we tried to go. I don't know. I'm already starting with the story, you know.
Keep going. I love it. Yeah, keep going.
So from the moment we got the block and we made one house and another house, a small project, you know, with in places where we didn't need too many regulation, you know, like falling between the holes and everything, because it's new product, so it's always hard with regulation. We decided to try to clean it, to go to the regulation, go to the Standard Institute and ask for a standard. And because I come with my cute French accent and a guy that is not local, people are crazy, what you're doing in Israel even. And I end up meeting the big managers there. They fell for it, you know, and they brought me to the top, and we really tried to pass regulation. They told me, okay, you want regulation? I say, yes. He said, you won't get it. Forget about it. They were really nice. They explained me why. That the concrete industry too strong, you know, and they are the one managing all of this. But they say, start working on your own. Right now, nothing is stopping you to do private house. Nothing. There is no rules telling you're not allowed to. So you can go for it. He say, all what we advise you to do is to do a fire test to check that your product doesn't catch fire, and you're forbidden to make it load bearing. If you go through these 2 rules, you can build private houses. So we say, okay, we started with this. We went back to the Standard Institute. We brought them a block, and we asked them to burn them. And they laugh, because they say, it's never gonna pass what you're doing to me. You know, you're wasting my time. This is gonna burn in 2 minutes. I say, no problem. Tell us what we need to do. And he say, cut me pieces this side. And I'm on the car park with my hands, so cutting him the blocks to the right side for his oven in the center of Tel Aviv, you know. Anyway, we gave it to them, and then they disappear. We don't hear nothing. After a month, we say, come on, guys, it doesn't take so much to burn blocks. And we call them, and they say, you, finally, we get you. It's amazing. You passed. Very high standard. We could not believe it. We all bet on it, and you won. It's amazing. And so we got this, and we started, and we build houses that are not load-bearing with the hemp. Anyway, we never planned to make anything load-bearing.
Yeah.
And so it started like this. And if I go a bit back, but I did all this with my partner, my business partner, Amit, that we met when we did the renovation of his house. This is how we became a partner. And so for this few years of starting the whole process, we worked on his company, and we tested to see that we're not jumping into a crazy adventure, you know, that it's right and everything. And so this year we started Block It Ltd, official company and everything. And it's amazing. We're making very nice houses.
Okay, so I have a question. You made a comment earlier when you said you'd found a block to the quality, you know, that you were looking for. Can you tell me what are you finding out there? What did you find as you were looking for hemp block or hempcrete? You know, subpar, or, and the reason I'm asking is not to call out companies or people that are not doing things good enough or to meet standards, but to give a reality. If people are getting into the industry, what is expected? What is that standard? What makes that block the good quality that you were looking for in hempcrete?
I looked for, first of all, a product that is as similar as possible to the conventional product. First of all, I needed to have a block that if I put it near a concrete block, people will not understand the difference on the first look. So that's something that is the less strange as possible, because it's so new. And we are now asking to people that used to build with concrete to build with plants. It's a huge shift for them in their heads, for people that are drinking concrete every day, It's crazy for them. So first of all, I needed to have something that is look absolutely normal, okay? Absolutely boring normal.
Yeah.
Because the first block I found is from the same company, but the first block was it was beautiful block, but a bit more technical. It's a system of building.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's what it makes it's that it's scaring people because it's a block but with a different shape, and then it's too hard concept already. So I needed to go gear down and go back to really the essential. So we found this block. The second criteria that I needed was criteria of quality of the size. Something that is consistent, that doesn't have variation in height or in thickness. It's very important. The length less, but the height and the thickness is very important. So that the builder, when he builds, he can build straight wall. He doesn't have to work all the time with the level to make his wall straight. Then the third thing is actually the quality of the hempcrete. Okay. Like once I pass the criteria of something look normal, he has good dimension, he's straight, he's beautiful. Then I looked inside, what is it? Then what I looked was the density. I didn't want a product that is too heavy because I want maximum insulation. Then the strength also, because as low density as we have, we're losing in strength also. So it's all about to find the right middle. And this is the basic qualities, that I look. Then after the block, I looked at all the system around, what the factory was providing me with, which support I had from them, if they were understanding my thinking, because I wanted to get away from the hippie thinking that we all started, all hippies, working no shirt, in tight pants, barefoot, and everything. It's beautiful. This is how we started. We were young. It's pretty, but it's not making business. This is not making company. This is not like this. I can convert other people to what we are doing, because most of the people are not living the way we live. They are living a more traditional lifestyle. We were living in tents when we started all this. So. It's
amazing how it's changed.
Sorry?
It's amazing what's changed.
Yes, it's changed. We grow up, we understand more things from the very strong ideology we all had on the beginning, that actually it was very good to start it up and to motivate us, this ideology. But then it was a big break, to me at least, because I felt that being too strict with my beliefs, and for my house, I will go according to what I believe strictly, but for other people, it's too much of a gap to cross, You can't ask people to live with compost toilet and in the nature do their compost and use rainwater and all of this. It's too much of a hard gap. So same with the building. You cannot convert the regular builder if you bring him something too weird. So this what really made a big change, because all these years that we were doing ourselves the mix on site, only us and our team could do it. So it's one house after the other, not more. I bought the block. I still have the knowledge and the experience, which is amazing, and I love it, because when I meet a builder, I'm not only the marketing guy that come to push him another new product, and they ask me t-shirt and pen. I say, with me, there is no pen, no t-shirt. You're getting knowledge instead, And we sit and we talk, and I explain them, and they laugh on the beginning. They say, you bring me the straw, I bring the donkey now and the goats, and the next joke is, let's all roll up the wall and we'll get stoned. And say, yes, please go ahead, let's try it, like I'm going with them. After 1 hour, the builders finish their joke. We start working. They realize the work is absolutely the same as any house they are building. And we're having fun, drinking a glass of cafe and moving forward,
Yeah.
And the next house, I tell them we're building with our block, and they say, okay, no problem. For them, it's no difference already,
Yeah. Well, I think this is such a valuable point, right? We talk about scaling the industry and what's going to scale industry. And I think this is a key piece that I wouldn't say it's forgotten about, because we definitely talk about it in our group and it comes up, but the labor side of the construction industry and being able to, the need to have to retrain a new trade if we were to bring in the spray hempcrete compared to the block, that's a big hurdle. It's a longer time frame that's going to take to scale. And so, yeah, I'm impressed. I like the block idea. I think it's extremely, can we start showing some pictures? Can we show some of the projects that you've
I just want to speak about one little point about the spraying and the block. Okay. Yeah. I think there is few things to understand, like the spray ID born in France. I'd say maybe 15, 20 years ago, the first machine they did. Okay. Yeah. And the spray is a very good technique for renovation of old building.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. All right. It's wonderful, especially when you have old stone house and everything, because the spray is spraying the hemp deep in the cracks of the stones. It's, you can really control the thickness. You can go to the millimeter if you're really careful. You can really bring the building, old building, to very high quality and with easier work than with blocks, because the blocks come already straight. And if I have something that is not straight, then I actually add myself more work. So I'd say in this configuration, all this renovation, it's amazing, the spraying. For doing floor roofs, it's amazing because it's big volume and the spray machine can push very big volume, like our friends from Americhambre.
Yeah.
Cameron, that I met in France 2-3 weeks ago in the symposium. So their machine is absolutely wonderful. They push a volume is insane. Yeah. Okay, they can do like a 10 cubic meter in the end of the day. It's actually it's like 30 square meter of it's a whole side of a house. In one go. It's wonderful. So I think it has its plus and its minuses. The block is very good for us, for example, in Israel, for the Israeli market, because we are used to the concrete construction. This is what the builder here know, concrete frame. They don't know something else. It's very hard for me to talk to him wood frame. He know only concrete, So I need to adapt myself to them also. So I think every technique have its purpose, like even people that love to do it hand casting. It's also great, especially when you build your house with friends and you have a big bunch of friends. You want to do workshops and everything, and for people to know the material, there is no better way, because you constantly the hand into it. This is how I knew hempcrete. This is how I can know after it's a good hempcrete or a not good hempcrete, because I worked enough hours with the raw material in the hand. I think it's very important, all the stages.
Yeah, great point. Well, and I agree with you, right? You wouldn't be where we're at. We wouldn't know what's good and what's bad if you hadn't had your hands in it. And I think that there's these phases, and where do we jump in? And I think it's we all have to get our hand in the soil, get our, play with the plant, play with the material. So that's awesome. Do you want to start sharing? I'd love to see. I want to show people what you're building, because, and I want to understand too, you had mentioned previously the type of homes that you built are a little bit different. One wood frame, and then others in Israel.
Yes, we adapt ourselves to the different structures that there is, so that we can touch a wider public. So we have two systems of block. We have the conventional block, and we have the special block, which is in the folder that you have is called Matat. So this is our special block, okay? This is the Lego system block from the French company Vieille Matériaux. Okay, so this we will finish with this one because it's a very special one. This one, okay.
Okay.
Let's start with maybe Sha'al or Na'alal. One of those. They are both of them beautiful houses. They are both of them with concrete frame. You can show both because it was two different approach of two different builders. So, for example, Sha'al. Sha'al is a location in the Golan in Israel, so it's in altitude. And this builder, when I explained him the product and everything, he got a bit scared and he said, okay, I will feel better if first of all I'm raising the whole construction of the house, and then we will fill all the gaps with the block. So I said, no problem, I'm with you. So they build first the concrete frame and then they build the blocks, okay? Here I'm showing how straight are the blocks that we are working with. Like they are absolutely even straighter than conventional block we have with concrete. This is something, for me, it's a very important point because once I gave to the builder a block that is in dimensions perfect, if his job is not straight, he have no excuse on me, you know. I gave him a perfect product. So...
What is this of? What are you doing? Because I see there's concrete here.
All right. So this one, in Israel, there is a law that asks every house to have a safety room in reinforced concrete with wall of 30 centimeters thick. So usually this room, we are also giving them a cover, how you say, like we cover the wall after? Retrofitting. This is the wall, yes? Yes. A retrofit of the hem block on the concrete wall. So after the concrete was poured, it's very hard to bring the block before we pour the concrete in the frame because there is a lot of metal. It's like a bunker, this room. So this is why we are putting the block after usually. Gotcha. So the block are glued on the concrete and they get also a special nail with a big cap on it that is helping him to sit on the wall. So once the house is built, like all the blocks are built and you can see the roof here, what I like with the hem block is that it looks like a conventional house. It's very hard to tell it is made out of hem blocks. It looks like a concrete block. And so it's also something I like about this is that it brings us closer to the conventional. Then everything get a layer coating of lime plaster inside and outside. Also, we are importing lime plaster from France to work with these houses because it's a lime plaster that is industrial made. It's ready mix in bags. So again, it's with a few additives inside that help the plasterer to do the job, even if it doesn't have any lime knowledge, you know. For me, it's very important, again, to always bridge the natural material to the builder, to help him meet it without any difficulties, or less as possible.
This is beautiful.
Sorry?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So they have here a rocket mass heater in this house because they can have sometime in the winter few minuses. And also the landowner, she really like a warm house in the winter. So this mass heater in the hard winter, they light it once every 2 days, once every 3 days, because it keeps enough heat, and the house is so well insulated that there is no need of more. He's almost a bit disappointed that he made such a big oven to light it so little. For me, it's a good victory, you know.
That's awesome.
Yes, so the picture you show, yes, is the bathrooms. Another amazing point of the hemp in the bathrooms, a bathroom that have a whole wall that is made out of hempcrete, block, spray, no matter what, and lime plaster will never have steam on the mirror during the shower. The room will handle the humidity so fast that it won't have any steam on the mirror, which is something amazing.
That's incredible. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this other one you told me. Let's see.
And you put Na'alal just above. Yes, this is the house of my sister-in-law.
Oh, cool.
thanks to her, she was part of the also to help us grow the company. So she decided to be guinea pig for us too on the beginning. I think everybody that works in hemp, it's the first couple of years is to find the right guinea pig, the people that willing to be your test subject, even though you're sure about what you're doing and there won't be any problem, but they feel always your test subject, you know.
Totally.
So this is a simple house in the shape. It's a big house, but simple in the shape. Also with a concrete frame. On the previous picture, actually, if I can say, you can see where the concrete construction is, because we are always doing insulation on the concrete construction. So you see there are blocks that are exactly stacked up, one above in each other in a perfect row, in the middle and on the side. You see them? So this
right
is
here.
where there is a concrete construction.
Okay.
Because when they are working, they use a thinner block. We're using a 30 centimeter thick block for the wall.
Okay.
The concrete construction standard in Israel need to be 20 centimeter thick, and each poles and beams get another 10 centimeter thick block on the outside.
It's beautiful.
Yes, it's a very beautiful house, very nice and cozy house. Even in the very hard summers, like we have summers 42 degrees, no problem. Yes, where we live in Israel, and very humid. And what they enjoy the more in this house is the fact that the house have very low humidity during the summer. It's very comfortable, even though outside is very humid. The house is nice, even without the air conditioning working. And they use very little. I think they use this year less than a month and a half of air conditioning, which it's amazing in Israel because the summer start almost in April and finish in November. It's a very long dry period. So you can see here also plaster from an English company, Breather Plaster. It's a very interesting plaster. I bought it to try it. It's a lime plaster where they replace the aggregate, the stone aggregate, by hemp aggregate. Okay. So it's a lime plaster that is very, very rich in hemp and that can be built on very thin layer, 3-4 millimeter, or very thick, up to 2 centimeter. And you have exactly the same advantage of the blocks, of the hempcrete. You know how to regulate humidity, temperature, and acoustic. Okay. And it's a beautiful finish, natural, completely amazing, easy to work. It's really fun, this product.
What about time to complete homes? You know, where are you?
It's exactly the same time as a conventional home. We are not, so today in Israel with this system, when we are staying conventional, which means for these two projects, you saw concrete frame. So these two projects, the only extra money added was on the blocks. On the plaster, we are exactly in the same price as the conventional plaster about work and material, because we are working in a bit different system than the conventional plaster. So at the end, it's become the same price. And the budget today to build a conventional home with a concrete frame and a hemp block is an addition of 6 to 7% on the cost of the house. So it's about, I'd say, it will cost $20,000 more for a house of 100 square meter, something like this. So it's not a crazy either, you know, people are taking a credit mortgage for 20 years to build a house. So if they take $20,000 extra to spread there, it's not a big deal, okay? And if people really want, they really don't have this extra possible, you can always manage the house a little different to get the budget. At the end, you only win, you only gain by building with this material.
Yeah, yes, I agree. Okay, so this house is a little bit different than your other homes that you built.
Yes, this is a wood frame house, timber frame house with a mix of what we call technical timber frame and decorative timber frame. If you can bring us the picture of the building part, I think are the last one maybe, in the bottom maybe.
Let's see, let me get out of here and let me go back to the...
Yes. So what I call technical timber and decorative timber frame is like all the wood that is tinted, that has been painted in more brown. This wood is for the decoration, where the carpenter here did the full connection, male, female, with wood pins inside, beautiful work and everything. And the rest of the frame is a frame that we are hiding inside the wall. It's still timber, but it's technical. It's only to hold the house. We don't want to see it. So we use a different also cut of wood. In inches, I don't know. I can tell you in centimeters, like the wood that is for the decoration is a cut that is 20 centimeter on 20 centimeter. And for the wall where it's hidden, it's 15 on 15. So that we can hide it after in the plaster and everything. Mm-hmm. So also, to me, the wood frame is the ultimate for ecological house and also healthy house and everything. It's I don't see anything better, but the problem in Israel is to bring it in Israel. There is not enough wood in Israel.
You made a comment earlier about that this home was also different in that it's the first home that the builder or the homeowner didn't know that they wanted hemp. They didn't come in knowing this is exactly what they wanted, and you sold them on this. What was that journey like, and what was their why to finally make the move?
Again, so the carpenter that is this home is a friend. We've been working on many projects together for like the past 10 years. Yes, we did amazing jobs together. And when he got this project, when the architect came to him and said, "Look, I had this client. I want you to make this house wood frame," and he said, "Okay. And what about hemp and wood?" And it was just in the same time we built in his workshop. We made a demonstration wall with this idea of his that I helped him develop, of making this technical frame to lower the cost a bit of the frame and everything. And so then he saw the client and he said, "I have one client for this." He said, "We need to sell it to him." So he made most actually of the sales for us, okay, because he really wanted this job to be. And at the end, the main argument was that we made a very nice discount.
Yeah.
And this is what closes the job, like in a lot of the jobs on the beginning when you start the way. You will eat soup tonight, no steaks, that's it. But at least you got...
But it's another house on the market that they were willing to buy and build. So good job. But I get it.
Yeah, it's good. It's amazing. So this for me is like for Israel standard is the peak of the green ecological house. This is Adi. Adi is the block builder of this carpenter. Since this project, we did another 4 together, and we have one starting very soon. And this builder, after he worked with this block, he said, "I do not want to work with any other block today." He said, "If I don't have job with you guys, no problem. I will do some plasterboard work and everything. I'm working only with your blocks. Call me when you have job. I'm yours." And that's it. Only he and his brother together, they're building houses for us, and they do amazing job. Every house, they improve themselves. They understand more and more the material, and it's great to see that builders also see their interest into working with this material.
Yes,
it's very nice.
What is it for weight? It's a pretty light block, isn't it?
It's a very light block. So for this system of house, we are using. We wanted to get at a wall of 25 centimeter thickness of hemp. And we work for this with two blocks. We work a block 15 centimeter thickness to build in between the frame, and a block that is 10 centimeter thickness that is covering the whole outside of the house with blocks so that we won't see the frame and we can plaster it. A picture before, maybe. Another one before. Here you can see exactly. So here we have the 15 centimeter blocks that is sitting between the poles and beams, and then we have the 10 centimeter block on the outside layer that come and cover everything. It's also allow us to put the diagonal of the wood frame in the middle of the wall, so it doesn't bother us for the plaster after. And also, it helped the electrician, because the electrician passed everything in between the 2 layers of blocks. So like this, it didn't have no holes to fill up at the end. It was very clean job about that. It was very, very nice. And of course, every block that meet the wood frame is getting a mechanical connection with a small metal angle and a screw. We saw it, the picture after. Yes, exactly here. And here you can see also the diagonal in the background, the metal wire. So it's one of the diagonal. We tried few system of diagonal. So on this house we did with wires. Now we are doing with metal. We are trying different system to adapt ourselves to see what will work the best. And this beautiful house, so also very interesting design, because it didn't come from a green architect or ecological architect. The architect here is mainly design architect. It's only for beauty they are working, you know. They don't really care about direction of the sun and everything when they plan these houses. But it came out absolutely wonderful. I really like the taste also of the decoration is very nice in the house. I don't hear you anymore. Hello?
I'm here. I'm sorry. I put myself on mute because the garbage guy was outside, and then I didn't take myself back off. So this is another beautiful wall in the bathroom. It's gorgeous.
Yes. Yes, also. So the plaster guys also are playing with the material. We're using a lime plaster, the same one for inside and outside of the house. Again, we're trying to help the plasterer to do the easiest job as possible for them, so that they can focus on quality. I don't want them to have to think about material. I want them to focus on quality of the work all the time, you know?
Yeah. Karen had a really good question. We kind of said something about it earlier, but 67% of the building, so an increase in cost. But what's gained in the reduction of heating expense and cooling expense?
So 6 to 7% is around 20,000 shekel, $20,000, about $20,000 for a standard house. Sorry?
Right. So
Yes.
if we're looking at savings,
like this. First of all, the house don't need to put any, according to the climate in Israel. Again, yes, it's all this is about what's happening in Israel. So with the Israeli climate, even in the high altitude area, you don't have very often, very in a specific place, but if not, you don't really have more than -5 is the maximum it's getting, you know, and this is really, wow, it was a very cold. In where I live, for example, in winter, it's 2 degrees minimum in night, you know, in the coldest night, 3 degrees. You know, it's not crazy like you can have in America. So I say to people, you don't need to put any floor heating system. There is no need. It's just throwing money for nothing. If you're really stressed about it, I tell them, okay, make the preparation under the floor, but you don't need to buy the engine. Wait at least 1 year. Leave 1 year in your house without it and decide if you really need it. So if they don't need it, which they don't need it in most of the cases, okay, they will save about $10,000 on this already.
It's crazy.
Half.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 1 year.
Half of the extra they put. And then with the air conditioning, they don't need to work with huge monsters, you know, because at the end of the day, like for example, all the inverter technology, it's not good for a hemp house, because inverter is working only when it's working 24/7. This is when it's saving energy. If you switch it off and on all the time, it's not working good. And with hemp house, sometime in Israel, because it's so hot in the summer and even at night, so you need to give a little push of air conditioning. So you need to have air conditioning. You put it for 2-3 hours. You stop it, and you don't need any more. You know. Yeah. So even on the air conditioning, people can save money at the end. Usually, until they will enter the house, by not buying specific devices, they will save about half of the difference, and the other half will take them about 5-6 years to cover with the electricity expense of the house. We say to people, better for you to invest in a good ceiling fan
Sure.
than in a good air conditioning.
Yes. Well, and
Because
like you said,
the
in a very
difference
short
is
period
huge.
of time, yeah, you get your return on investment very quickly. Um,
Yes.
but that's excellent. Okay, so this is your first project, the one we wanted to save for last. I'm not sure if we want to start at the top or the bottom. I didn't look through pictures, but this is metal.
I think we need to start from the bottom. No,
Okay.
this is okay. We will see. We'll take the picture how they come.
Okay.
So this is the special block. As you can see, it doesn't look like any other block. It has a male-female plug on it. Okay, I will call it like this. I don't know the right term in. It's an interlocking system,
Yeah.
interlocking blocks. That doesn't require any glue in between in the blocks. Okay.
Yeah.
And the blocks are creating the cavity for the poles and the beams.
Yeah.
That you use concrete. Now, this system use absolutely minimum of concrete as possible. It's very small poles, but we spread everywhere around the house a lot of poles. It can go with one floor above maximum, not two. Okay, so it's ground floor plus one floor. And in Israel, I'm selling this product mainly for people that want to build their own house. So this project, I really like it because it's a super client that is a carpenter. He used to do work with natural wood. And it's the dream of his life to build a house. He's been waiting maybe 20 years to build his own house. He's been moving from a lot house to house to house, lived in caravan and everything. And now that's it. This is the year he's building his house. And he wanted something that he can do by himself. And he was actually the real, test subject, because we bought there a completely new system. There is no builder in Israel qualified to work with. Okay, I'm the only one that went to the workshop in France to learn how to do it. And I built myself a small 40 square meter unit with this to create my experience. And it was the first time I sell this project properly, so he took it, and it's a project where we grew up together in it. We both of us, he and me, learn on the spot how to make it. It's a simple project. It's a very simple method of building, but building, as simple as it can be, requires a lot of experience, because you're all the time meeting problems that were not planned, and it's all about your creativity and how to handle them. This is where... Sorry?
True that. You're exactly right.
Yes. It's a very important, this creativity. And so this project was amazing, because the guy built with the two workers of the carpentry, and they built a 200 square meter house. In a month and a half, they had the 4 walls up with the floor and the roof.
Wow.
Which, amazing. All the construction was up in a month and a half. It's the same time as will have took a regular builder in Israel that is doing this all his life, and we learned it on the spot. So it's a system that if people are building with this system every day, they can finish a house in 4 or 5 months. Instead of 10 to 12 months. It's really amazing.
Oh, yes. Your rebar, your bar system.
Yes, the rebar. So this is the last belt of the ground floor, and on top of this coming the wood construction for the floor of the first floor. And the rebar, these are the poles that are keep on coming out of the belt for the next floor, because the poles are keep on going to the second floor, as you can see.
Yeah. So that's what makes it structural.
Exactly. So you see on the picture here, just come back. On the picture here, you have on the left palette where the sign of blockade is. You have this is the first block that we put. It's from concrete.
Isn't this like the footer?
The footer, exactly. That's the right name, the footer. And on this, we'll start interlocking the hem blocks. Mm-hmm. And on the right, in the far a bit on the right, there is another palette with blocks that are U-shape, and these blocks are for the belt of concrete that is how you say, closing the whole house, connecting all the poles together.
And is that in this? That's this right here? That's where the concrete's poured?
Exactly, and this is what you see here, right here with the concrete. So it requires a little reinforcement, but because there is very little concrete, there is not crazy pressure, so you don't have to do engineering reinforcement to hold all the pressure of the concrete. And this is the owner in purple with the hat, that we are congratulating him for having the roof on. We were all of us so surprised of how quick he went. It was amazing, really amazing.
So cool.
And the advantage of this system, is that the wall is straight after. You don't have a choice. You cannot make it like a snake. No, it doesn't work. It's all male, female, so it has to be straight. So once the concrete has been poured and everything is ready for plastering, you can plaster with minimal thickness because you almost don't have no how you call it, re-equilibrate, how you say, to re-straighten the wall. If it's not straight, usually after that with plaster you straighten it back. Here you don't need, you only need to plaster it. That's it. So you save a great deal of time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, how do they fill in these wood? What goes up here?
So here we made a slice of blocks after from the side, and we closed it all. And then there is a ceiling coming, and they put all the leftover of hemp and cellulose inside.
Oh, wow. This is gorgeous. So just flat roof here.
Yeah, so this house is 880 meter high altitude. Okay, it's on the border with Israel and Lebanon, in the northern part of Israel, in one of the most beautiful area of the country, to my taste. And so this family, in the previous house that they lived, they used to burn 17 to 18 cubic meter of wood every winter, okay, to keep the house warm. In this house, they burn, in last winter, they had 5 times snowfall, which is a lot for their area usually, and they burn only 1 cubic meter of wood, 1.5 for the romance.
That's very impactful.
It's very much. In the summer, in the ground floor, there is a room of the house that is even cold in the summer. And nice in the winter, which is amazing,
This is beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, so this guy built this dream house that he's been waiting. He did everything on himself, all of it.
Just by using the block system.
Just by using the blocks and our plaster.
Scale is something we can do.
Yes. No. Everybody that is a bit handy can do a lot in his own house. It's only a question of trial and error on the beginning to create experience.
Wow, how pretty. So how talk to me about plans for your company. Where are you guys at today? And understanding you're small, you're a year in officially, but built a number of homes already. What does next year and 5 years from now look like for you?
So this year we have about 20 projects in construction running. Some of them on the point to finish now. Some that just started. We're expecting another 3 to 5 until the end of this year, really, that are on the fire now. We are waiting to deliver, to sign, we're impatient. So it will create 25 houses this year. So far 20. We hope 25 by the end of this year. Target for next year, according to my partner, is to double. He said we must get to 50 houses a year, which is not a crazy target. It's possible. We've been working very hard on the communication this year, on showing that you can build natural and be conventional. Don't be afraid. It's not only for crazy hippies. It's cool because in Israel, the The funny thing is that here in Israel, I believe in America is the same. Natural building started with the hippies. Okay, what we did, I built one of the first straw bale building in Israel. In my wife's farm, we built a 200 square meter ecological center from straw bale, and we did earth plaster from the earth here, the local earth. We just dug in the backyard and we made the plaster of this building. And this building, we made the permaculture course, 3 permaculture course per year for maybe 6 years or 7 years. And we try to spread the word of this, creating mud workshop. I did all sorts of workshop, but all the project then that we were building was people that saw this and wanted this. So it was all the time straw bale, everything round, and I love it. Yes, it's me. I like these jobs. It's amazing, but it doesn't sell the market. The market is more conventional thinking. It needs to be straight, completely laser cut walls and everything. So this year, this is what we've been doing to change the communication, to show people we are not weird. We're absolutely normal. Don't worry. We're not weirdos. You can do it too. And it's very nice once you did it.
Yeah,
and so,
I love it. I think
so we're getting there.
So how do people reach out if they've got a question or if they're looking at working with you? And will you be traveling? I know you just had a local event or an event you traveled to. Are there any others you're going to be at that people can meet you?
We go where we're invited.
Okay.
Travel, I always travel, but we're going where we're invited, like or when there is like a big hemp event where we can learn more. Like I'm always thirsty for learning. I love this meeting of the symposium and everything, because you meet people that are doing the same as you in a complete different way, and at the end is the same, and so it's amazing to learn, to understand, or to see the differences with the guys in Canada, Dion Shama there that I met, that explained with his blogs and everything, and to make like the guy of Amerisham and everything. It's amazing to see all the way they go through, all the guys in England, in Ireland, all this. For me, it's very instructive, to see which material they use and what direction I'm taking, and also to make me feel good with the choice I make,
Yeah. And redirect on the ones you need to. Like, I think that there's huge value. And I think sometimes people forget sitting in the room with the people that are doing the same thing as you is extremely powerful on moving things forward. Like you said, validating what's working and then being able to bounce ideas off on w's not working, right? What works for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to complain each other about the same problems we're meeting, to feel you're not alone.
Yes, exactly. And what solutions are out there. So, well, thank you so much for joining today. It was so good seeing the work that you're doing. I'm going to keep cheering you on. I'd love to give a highlight in our newsletter so that we can get more info out and relink back to this. However, how do people reach out to you? On the website? So
we have the website, Instagram, Facebook. Okay. We are doing a lot of events also for where we with architects. We're inviting, like in the 9th of November, we have an event, kind of a event workshop day where we're inviting builders and building inspectors and architects and things to come see. I make them presentation about hemp, about how to build with hemp. Then I bring them on a project that are in building right now, and then I bring them to finish projects so that they can understand. So we spend a half day together with a lunch, and we're explaining them, we're showing them that everything is absolutely normal, that there is no fear to have. We're mainly doing psychological work now. It's like, it's not about convincing people how good it is to stop the fear in them to do it, mainly. And we also see this year, like a change in the clients. We have more, the way people are coming to us. It's not anymore, like I said in the beginning, the convinced one, people that knew what they want. They don't have a cent, but this is what they do at any cost, Now we have people that come, you need to argue more with them actually to sell them the product, and it's they're arguing more on the money actually and things like this. But at the end, we see that they are coming because they went to one house like this and they felt it was really different, or they saw the house in the neighborhood that is exactly the same as all the other house, but this one is made from hemp. I didn't know it was possible, So it's great. I went in the neighborhood this week with our marketing manager, And I asked her, where is the house? Where is our house in this neighborhood? And she could not find it.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. It's a victory.
Yeah, that's awesome. What would you say? Well, just one more question, then we'll wrap up. But what would you say the biggest, like once you get people connected or they start to really pique their interest, what is it for them that they, finally dive in? What is that catch? And the reason I ask is I'm trying to give feedback or information to industry as they want to go out and move product forward. What is that language? What is that, is it just, like you said, that they see it as being the same as or equal to?
This is the main issue actually today, is to show that it's workable by anyone, that it will hold, that yes, you can put you can screw something in the wall. It's a bit different way of doing it than in a concrete block, but you can do it. It's not an issue, It's to reassure the people, to show them it's conventional. And I think this is where the hemp will explode, is that instead of going in a new and trying to reinvent a wheel that is already spinning well, just to get there and to improve it maybe, but to use what is already being. And the blocks, we build the Colosseum with blocks, is still standing. I believe that in the next 2,000 years, we'll keep on building also with blocks, because it's the most practical way to stack things one on top of the other,
Yeah, well, and look, somebody with little experience with hemp is able to build a home in 5 months.
Anybody can do it. It's a question of will, and I encourage people that are doubting, that saying, "Oh, I'm not sure. It's a bit more expensive in this." I don't know what's the difference of cost in America for a hemp house or what, but I'd say like this: there is a feeling inside the hemp house that no money can describe and no words can describe. And only by being in it, and every day you will bless that you did it, because the feeling is just amazing. Live it. It's so healthy. You have all the amazing thermal properties and everything. The feeling of the air inside the house when it's cold outside and nice inside, or super hot outside, and you have the feeling of the cave inside. I can't explain this. You need to do it.
Okay, so I'm going to put a call out there. This is on my bucket list. I want a hemp home, and I want to build one now. And so I also want to make a parade of homes home available, so that you can get multiple people walking through it to, like you said, see it and compare it with all of the other existing properties out there. And so yes, very exciting. I'm very impressed with everything you're doing. Thank you again for spending time with me today. Reminder to everybody else.
It's amazing, these opportunities to share.
Let's come back. Let's do this again next year, or in a
few
months.
No problem.
Highlight again. Reminding everybody, our interviews are recorded and shared on podcast. You can find them on YouTube, all of the social media channels, Google, Spotify, Apple, all the podcasts. I'm lost. Anchor. Anyways, please don't hesitate to reach out if you guys need anything. If you have anybody that you're looking to really get to know, or a vertical or a topic that you're interested in diving into, please send notes my way. You can contact us on our globalhempassociation.org website. Also, if you have anybody that you'd like to refer as a guest speaker, you can apply on our website now. So please, we're looking for new speakers for 2023 to really level up our content. We'd love to have you engaged or involved. So Adrien, you too, if you have anybody that you think we should highlight. I've already interviewed, and I need to reach out again to both Cameron and Dion for their great work. They're rock stars. But anybody else that comes up, send them our way. We would love to highlight what they're up to. So
cool, no problem. I will.
Anyways, thank you guys very, very much. Adrien, have a wonderful afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll be in touch soon.
You too. Have a good day.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.